Okay, action. Action. Alright. Do you feel the internet enriched your teenage years?
Yes, I think so.
I guess try to speak kind of loudly.
I never got involved in like the social media stuff. I mean, I think it was a little before, when I was in high school, it was like before kind of MySpace was popular and stuff. So I didn't have the cyberbullying problem that I think a lot of kids have these days.
Yeah.
But I was a nerd and have always been so. And the way that I could find a lot of other people who were also nerdy, who were also interested in what I was interested in, was through the internet. And I was very into the Pirates of the Caribbean fandom when I was in high school, and I met this girl online, and we used to write stupid stories together. But I mean, it's fun, whatever teenagers do. But I mean, we talked for a long time. We're still friends, like on Facebook, and I think, being on the internet so much gave me kind of an advantage over some other people in the way that I understood how the technology worked, and I could use computers pretty decently, just learned how to do it by kind of navigating around the internet and stuff like that. So I think it was good. It affected my life for the better.
So, well, my first internet contact, in the teenage years, it was a couple of years earlier, so there were no social networks or stuff. There were chat rooms on GeoCities or
wow.
There was not much, so I used it for more looking for pictures, later sources for inspiration, or that way, and the social stuff, to talk about fandom and things was a bit later. So
okay.
yeah.
It sounds good. I want to move this closer.
In the middle of the 90s, so
just because I want your voices.
Remember the crappy homepages.
Oh yeah.
Everything looked and it took ages to build up a homepage on the screen and stuff. So as the scene in The Simpsons when the comic book guy is opening the page with a naked girl, and it's just all the pixels slowly one after another. That's the internet. When I was in high school,
wow.
So.
See, in my mind, you guys are so young that by the time you were in high school, it was already fully developed. But that's
no, it was
not
still
the
with
case,
the funny
right?
modem sounds and stuff.
Okay.
When I was in high school, at least, it was pretty developed. Junior high school, we still had AOL, and dial-up. But by the time I was in high school, later high school anyway, I had my own laptop and stuff. So I was on kind of nerdy social media, but not MySpace, not anything like that. I mean, it's Gaia Online and stuff like that, which is just this community where you have a little avatar and you can dress them up, and there are forums and you talk to other nerds and you play little mini games.
So when you say nerds, I mean, I think it's different than what the concept of a nerd was in the 80s, someone who's into chemistry or something like that.
Yeah.
You're talking about they're into, I don't know, a Star Trek or something?
Yes,
well, I think it's not even that, but
no, that has
Pirates of the Caribbean, I wouldn't necessarily.
Right, I was a Pirates
My generation
of the
would
Caribbean nerd.
consider
No,
that.
I guess it's only nerdy when you get so into it, when it kind of becomes such a big part of your life. And I'm almost so embarrassed to talk about how into it I was.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. I was so into it. I mean, you could ask, if you could go and ask people I went to high school with, what was Cara the most into, they'll tell you that. Everybody will remember. I remember you loved Johnny Depp, you loved Pirates of the Caribbean, that was your thing.
So was that good, though? You thought it was a good influence in your life? You don't think?
It was fun. It was just fun escapist stuff, and the Lord of the Rings stuff has always been there, and I never needed the internet to kind of. once the internet came around, though, like, once I had access to it, it was cool to, like, be able to talk with other people, like, wait, other people like these books? Like, I grew up with them, you know? They were read to me in the womb. And none of my friends at school ever knew what it was, ever. Maybe they had heard the name or something, but before the movies came out, nobody knew what it was. So it was cool to meet people, other people like me.
New experience.
Yeah.
That way, like.
Yeah, who could, I could talk with them about it, and it wasn't just like me talking with my dad. Finally, as somebody else I could talk with, so. But yeah, I think nerd took on a new meaning to mean somebody who's just like so into something. More into something fictional than they are into real life, you know? I think that's sort of what it's become now. So yeah, like, I got a lot of heat for liking Star Trek. I got a lot of heat for liking Lord of the Rings, you know? I mean, people would bully and make fun of me all the time, and, you know, for, you know, various stupid teenage reasons, but really,
Hell yeah. You like something different, so
But because you had this community of people you could connect with, you kind of felt justified, right? Like if you're the only person who likes it and like all the other kids at school are like bullying you, then you start to think like there's something wrong with me, right? But if you can go online and all these other people are into it, you feel
at least you have somebody to like kind of join you and giving the finger to the jocks and stuff, you know, and that was good. So.
Wait, so Veronica, what did you mean when you said inspiration? You mean inspiration for what?
Like when I was in kindergarten, elementary school, I've always liked animation and stuff. And well, when I really got into this anime scene in Germany, it was through a magazine and not through internet still. But I could look there for pictures which were not available. Like there was, well, this one magazine I discovered once at a kiosk at the station, and well, that was like an impact. But before, like I didn't have like a big chance to find stuff about what I've always liked. So just consuming on TV, drawing by myself. But yeah.
So when you could find the kind of stuff you wanted on the internet, it affected your art in a good way.
Well, yeah, and there were like through the links and stuff you could find other like similar related art, and yeah, it's how I found a lot of horror stuff and as well, and not only the mainstream stuff which is like on TV.
Yeah. Because so that's what it does. It basically gives you the power that you can follow what you want to be interested in, right? Where
so like
it wasn't like that for a lot of people growing up, right? They were totally just subjected to TV or radio or whatever, you know.
And stuff that was introduced by friends.
So what was the magazine you said you found?
There was an anime magazine, German anime, the only one at that time. Like, was still really, really underground. So.
Okay. So this is kind of what I was trying to ask about. Like,
it's like leading into.
Yeah. All right. So you're like your development as an artist. So all right. So I want to list you guys as what, illustrator / performance artist. Is that right? Or.
Yeah. Well. Yes.
Or.
Especially as an illustrator, like
okay. Okay. Well, how about I'll call you an illustrator. I'll call you a performance artist.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think like what you saw through the internet affected the performances you do now?
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. I think. Let's see. Yeah, well, because I'm really influenced by, like, you know, Japanese kind of, like, kawaii culture, you know, and when I first, like, performed as Donut Lolita, I sort of wanted to really take the piss out of this kind of kawaii thing, I took it so over the top that I thought, like, it's so cute and so ridiculous and so over the top that it's just stupid. And nobody, you know, and I want to see if these people are going to buy it and if they're going to say it's cute. And they all did. You know, so I'm kind of interested by that. Like, you know, in a way, like, some of it is so stupid, like, this super kawaii stuff, but then I also really like cute stuff, so I think, and, you know, I discovered all of the Japanese stuff through the internet, so, any of the kind of the cute stuff.
Like, you never, like, the way you were into Visual K and all that, like, that wasn't, they didn't show that, like, on MTV in America, or there wasn't any, like, cable network in America that was showing, it was all definitely internet.
Later, much later, like, Deer on Grey was on MTV, but,
much later.
Much later, but when I was in high school, it was like, you know, we watched, me and my friend Angela, God, I almost said her name like with a Japanese accent, whoa. Me and my friend Angela were watching an anime called X 1999.
Ah, yeah.
And the ending.
You were watching it online.
No, we were watching it on. I think she had rented a videotape.
Wow. I was recording videotapes from TV, like
And the ending song was "Forever Love," and that's by X Japan. And then we were just kind of really blown away by it. So we were like, who are these X Japan people? And then we took to the internet and found from there. And then we found Deer on Grey and Gakuto and Melis Miser and all of those kind of Visual K things. And it all spun out of control because from there you've got Lolita and you've got like all of these other offshoots. So it literally all stemmed from that.
And that's what you could do online. You could like follow something you're interested in, and you could just follow it. You know?
Like, you just go in further on and find this and that, and it's
It was like, you know, X Japan, oh cool, we like these guys. Yoshiki produced this band called Deer and Grey. Oh, let's check them out. Oh, we like them, and then Deer and Grey perform with these guys or whatever. Like, I mean, it's like this whole connected thing.
They are wearing cool clothes. That? Where can I buy this?
Like when I was in high school, like MTV had like Headbangers Ball on Saturday night. They had like 120 minutes on Sunday night.
Deer and Grey did that eventually.
Just during those couple, you know, the few hours or the whole week where they'd be like cramming crap down your throat, you might see like one or two cool videos. And that'd be like all you know about that band. You know, like, and if you went to the record store and their record wasn't there, you wouldn't even be able to hear them. You know,
I
it's just like.
I went to
you know, it's such a luxury now to be, as soon as you see something, like look it up, find out as much information about it.
And download it probably. Yeah, I remember I went to the record store and asked for them to order some X Japan or whatever stuff, and they were like, what's that? We can't order that. I don't know that. Or
really? So they refused to order it?
Yeah, they can't.
Like they couldn't get it. They didn't have the connections. And, so the only source at that point was, I think, anime conventions where people imported like tapes, demo tapes.
What's that?
So you mean cassettes?
Yes.
Wow.
Cassettes.
See, I thought you guys didn't remember cassettes.
The CDs were incredibly expensive, the few they had.
Okay, wow.
So,
okay, I mean, so just the fact that you could follow what you want, you know, basically to your heart's content in a lot of ways. I mean, don't you think that positively will affect this whole, like, generation of artists who are growing up on the internet? Like, people will have more specific views or whatever, visions, right? So, it's got to be good, right?
Well, I mean, because I think knowing about X Japan totally changed my life. Like, I mean, aside from the fact that I think they're an amazing band, and their music as art, like truly affected me, obviously, with my tattoo and everything. I love them. But it kind of influenced me to come over here and, like, you know, maybe build a life out here, this kind of thing. And that totally changed my entire direction in my life, you know. Otherwise, I would be like, all the people I went to high school with, you know, like would have had 3 kids by the time they're 18 and you know,
Divorced twice.
yeah, all on welfare, you know, classy bunch down in New Mexico, but I think it's good. Like, it's sad that there are people who that they're awesome artists in any place, but who just go that you can never, that maybe you might never know about, you know what I mean? Like, so the internet really helps with that. It's like, look at this cool band, or like, look at this cool, like, crazy performance guy, or whatever. Like, that's awesome.
You can see the extent of things rather than just like the, you know, the tip of the iceberg.
And film too, like, you know, you can see people's short films, like, on YouTube, and, I think YouTube's kind of, like, it's good and bad things with YouTube. The comments are the bad, because you just don't even want to look down there. But the videos can be kind of cool. Like, I watched just some people just talk about, like, whatever.
Oh, I do that. Like, watch people, like, talk about their record collection or something.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
whatever. Like,
right?
It's kind of interesting, and you can learn stuff about people, and that's kind of cool. I don't know. I think I will come back to more about YouTube later on.
Okay, wait, let's get Veronika on that, right? So do you think development as an artist, right? So you kind of talked about that before, but
yeah,
I mean, it's definitely I mean, I'm having a hard time seeing how it would negatively affect anyone's development as an artist. I mean,
no, not really.
I think the only way it could negatively affect you is by maybe frightening you off. Because it is intimidating to me. The internet is scary. I don't want to hear what people have to say about my art. I don't want to hear it because I can't handle it. Like, you know, it's not like in college when somebody's looking you in the face, and whether they were an asshole or not, it was still kind of like, you know, they probably had something constructive to say, because they wouldn't just be like, yeah, fag. Like, they wouldn't do that. You know, you're in front of them.
But what are you talking about? What are you, when do people criticize you?
Well, I mean, they don't, because I don't put anything online, but if you were, you know, if you did YouTube, which I'm looking into for the future, or if you did DeviantArt, I used to do that, but, you know, where you put your art somewhere, or you upload, you know, your movie or something like that, and people are not afraid to, and they really want to tear you apart, they want to hurt you.
There's not the barrier that you have to talk to a person directly, like you're like anonymous on the internet, so you can just say whatever you want. And
in a way, I think that has sort of hindered me from doing stuff that I want to do, because it does scare me, like those people scare me. But
then you just erase their comment.
Well, you know, but then I have to see it in the first place. But I don't know, with the YouTube stuff, I'm maybe going to work with Nicole on some YouTube stuff. She said she can read the comments and she doesn't give a shit. I'm like, good, sift through them for me. Let's pay someone to delete them for me. Cause
the people, they don't care. Like, if they don't have it to say in your face on the internet, like,
So, I don't know, like, so all the PYT stuff I've ever put up on YouTube or just anywhere on the internet, I've never really gotten a negative comment that has. I sometimes like, what the fuck is this? That doesn't bother me at all, because that's what
it's sort of, you know, expected.
So,
Yeah.
I wonder if at a certain, with a certain kind of art, you just don't encounter that as much.
Yeah. But it kind of depends, I guess it just depends on the community website.
Yeah.
It depends on the website, it depends on how popular that gets. Like, if you get attention, if you're getting a lot of attention, then you're going to get more negative comments just because you're getting attention. People just don't like that. People don't like people to be happy, so they want to freaking go after
that's a point of it.
Like on Facebook or something? Is that what you're talking about? Or?
No, I mean, YouTube, especially YouTube, I think is probably the worst place you see it. But I mean, on DeviantArt, and which is like an art
I never had a DeviantArt account.
I did. I still have one. I didn't get any real hate on there though. But I look at other people's accounts and I see the hate that they get, and it scares me, and I don't want to put my stuff up there. You know, I don't know.
Right. So Veronika, do you have an artist like that changed your life that you discovered on the internet?
One particular artist.
Well, I mean, the way Cara talked about ex-Japan. Or, how about, maybe I'll ask you this question first. Would you be living in Japan now if it wasn't for the internet?
Yes.
You would?
So,
okay, so you would have ended up here anyways.
Yeah, anyway, probably, because, after a while I discovered that everything I like is from Japan. So, while I was a child, when I was watching the animations, so my favorite animations or comics or whatever, some characters or stuff, it was like, I wasn't aware that it was all from Japan at that time. I was like in elementary school, 5-6 years old, but I continued on liking that stuff and discovered other stuff, and I thought, like, wow, that's all from Japan. And then
That's awesome.
that just led me to
But would you have made that connection? Would you have put everything together if it wasn't for the internet?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure,
okay,
right.
okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Did you meet Ryota online? Oh no, you taught him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
I like that story a lot.
He said, I remember you told me the story once. He wanted.
but it helps, of
I
course,
want
like
to-
to be online to find like the schools where you can teach and the places
Yeah,
to
yeah,
teach.
yeah.
But
Okay. Okay.
so somehow the internet was involved, but
Yeah.
somehow,
Like that practical, the
Yeah.
practical function of the internet.
Yeah. But
Okay.
we weren't. The first
Right.
time we spoke in like real life was like without the internet. He just made an appointment, sent me the email, but from that on the first time we like really talked, except making an appointment was like in real life. So we haven't talked online or anything.
Okay. So in that case, you wouldn't necessarily call it an internet relationship, or you wouldn't.
there
actually.
wasn't not really like a relationship
Alright.
before an internet. So.
But in Kara's case, it was like
In my
100%,
case,
right?
I would not. Let's see. If it wasn't for the internet, would I be living in Japan? No, I don't think so. And I think that's because New Mexico. New Mexico is the land of enchantment, right? That's what they call it. Most of the people who live there call it the land of entrapment because most people tend to stay or they move in and stay. Like there's something awesome about it that people from the outside like, and they move there and stay. And then the people who are born there tend to be stuck there somehow. And almost all my friends back home, they're like, how do I get out of this fucking town? And I'm like,
Wow.
oh, but it's great. Like enjoy it. Although I don't live there, but I think it's not a small town. I mean, it's Albuquerque is the biggest city in New Mexico, but that doesn't mean shit because we don't have very many people in the state. So, but yeah, sort of. I think that really getting into ex-Japan was like a catalyst for me. And then, it was more, and I got into anime because of Sailor Moon. So it was like, Sailor Moon, ex-Japan, husband, trying to learn Japanese, and then, So really all the big events that led me here were through the internet, so 100%.
Alright. Have we talked about number 5? Is the internet good? I mean, my point is going to be that, I don't know, so you guys looked at that, the bit I wrote where it starts off with the guy's theory that almost like the younger generations of artists are becoming soft because they don't have the anger of not having access to the stuff they need, and that anger used to fuel their, which I think is a cool theory, I like that.
Yeah.
But I find it possible to believe that theory and not necessarily think that the next wave of artists is going to be lacking something. Perhaps they'll be more sophisticated and maybe they can make.
I think they're going to be more they're going to be more disciplined in a way because it's they've got so much to compete with. You've got the whole fucking world to compete with. And everything's been done, so you've got to try to find your own thing. Really, really true. You can't just go stealing people's shit anymore. You know what I mean? I think they're going to be disciplined or their craft is going to be well honed and original. Hopefully, you know, some kind of original, or it's a bunch of like shit put together, which is also cool.
Like Nicki Minaj.
Or
something. I don't know.
What a
I don't know
brilliant
why she pops in my head, but
yeah.
Huh.
But the internet is good for. I think the internet is extremely good for news. So I think that the Young Turks is awesome, and they are the only people that I would get my news from because, you know, I listen to what my parents like. My parents' perspective on current events in America, and you know they're both open-minded, kind people, but they both somehow all four of them end up watching freaking Fox News, and so their perspective on things that happen are completely wrong, you know, because everything that Fox News reports on is incorrect, you know, and it's not because, you know, like, yeah, the Young Turks is biased, but there isn't anything that isn't biased. You know, everyone has a political angle. You know what I mean? Like, they're progressive. I'm a progressive. Cool. Report on things in a progressive way. But I mean, you know, we're not, you know, Obama dick suckers. Like, you know, that's MSNBC, who are also wrong in a lot of ways. So, like, you know, I think that you can get a lot of truth from the internet news because it's not controlled by the government. Whereas, like, the American media is definitely controlled, I think, by the government.
It gives the people more control.
Yeah.
So it's like the same, So whatever the issue is, if it's politics or art, the individual has more control.
Yeah, or they have more access to.
They have
more point of view.
The chances
viewpoints
to have it. It's still their decision.
Better understanding.
But they have the chance to. It's not said that they, take the chance, but.
Yeah.
But I think it's good, for example, for countries like China or other countries like Middle East or with the Arabian Revolution and stuff, that people put stuff on internet and the government can't hinder them. It happens too quickly and news are spreading and they have access to more information, so
it's all good, right? So, like, artists should, it just means people should be more informed. They should be more, like, exposed to different influences. So, I mean, it seems like just the level of art should go up. Yeah. Right?
And I mean, because you can find, like, old movies and old, I don't know, I found a lot of old movies just on YouTube, and I felt pretty inspired by those, you know, like, God, what's a good one I watched on there? I don't know, The Creeping Flesh or something like that. Awesome! Like, old Hammer movies, too, are on there. And
it's cool, but I think, like, in the past years, like, art, movies, pictures, everything has so much developed. Because I think it's because of the competition. So everything is so professional and...
But I saw someone saying, like, I did a search, like, creativity in the internet, and a few people were saying kind of what you were saying about, you feel intimidated because you think you have this great idea, then you look up online and, like, all these people have, like, a very similar idea and they've done it already, and, like, it kind of just kills your inspiration.
They've done it better than how you can do it.
So, but if, alright, if you didn't have the internet, you have this idea, you don't know that anyone else has ever done it, and you flesh it out and you make it awesome. In that case, the internet would have maybe prohibited you from doing something cool. Yeah. I mean, do you think that happens?
Yeah, I think that happens. But I think, like, it's also important to maybe not go looking for that stuff, like, because there are a couple of projects, like, I'm working on, and I just don't want to know if other people have done it before, because I'm like, well, whatever your perspective on it was, it's not going to be my perspective, so... It's gonna be done from my perspective, and if it has been done before, I don't know, fuck off. Maybe, I hope mine's gonna be better. I don't know. But yeah, it's good not to go searching for that kind of stuff. I think that's sort of, that's important. So it's good to have an understanding that the internet can hurt you, and that you just need to avoid, how to kind of avoid that. Is really important.
I think it's both. It's good and bad.
Yeah.
So you just have to find a way how you're personally dealing with it. So some people, like you said before, like Nicole, who wouldn't care about any bad comments or whatever, or like people who take it too personally, or well,
So
no, I mean those people who are bullied on internet and then just commit
kill
suicide
themselves,
or whatever. It's it happens as well.
It's
So
sad.
might happen. Well, it happens in the real life as well, but it's all about like how you deal with the internet by yourself.
Exactly. Because, you know, people talk about, like, the bullying follows them home from school because they're bullied on the internet. But in a way, it's like, well, you know, don't go on the internet. Don't have a MySpace. Don't friend people who are assholes, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but you wouldn't go on MySpace anymore anyway, but, you know, keep your Facebook profile private. Maybe don't have a Facebook. You could survive. Like, So I think, kids need to learn. Just learn that, like, don't look at it. Don't pay attention to it.
Don't take it too seriously.
Don't take it too seriously. Don't let it follow you home. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Just don't get on Facebook if they're bullying you on Facebook.
Maybe just to use the internet as a tool to like for your own benefits, but fuck off the other stuff.
Yeah, and like
Don't
if
care.
people are posting on Facebook about you, it's like, you know, you go to school and it's like, oh, they're fucking posting on Facebook about you. Oh, fuck off, like, whatever. There's nothing you could do about it. Just because, you know, on Facebook then the whole world can see it. That does suck. But people are always going to talk shit about you anyway, so...
Yeah, right.
It's really just...
It does seem negative in that sense. Like, I don't like the idea of my sons being, like, too hooked on Facebook as they're growing up or something like that.
Yeah, it's better just to keep it as a way to, you know, connect with friends. People, you know, and if somebody talks shit about you or if somebody's an asshole, delete. You know, that is exactly what I do. If somebody posts a fucking, you know, I don't know, some racist bullshit, delete. Do you know how many friends I lost after the fucking earthquake in March?
Because people were saying...
Because people were like, oh, Japan,
They
you
don't
fucking
believe-
deserved it because you guys bombed us, whatever. We kicked your ass and now God's kicking your ass or whatever. And, just unfriend all those idiots, you know, just because... That's a way that I think, though, that Facebook is cool because it's like, I don't see all these posts from conservative racists, like, bastards and stuff. So my world is kind of awesome because I just surround myself with awesome people.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a choice that you have to make, and you have to sort through it yourself. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like art though too, right? I mean, you can listen now. The kind of music and movies you watch are more tailored.
I've never
I've
heard a Justin Bieber song.
Yeah,
you know,
like me too. Yeah, and I'm happy about that.
I've tailored my world so that I don't have that on my Facebook feed. Nobody's posting pictures of Justin Bieber on my Facebook page. Like, you know, on my news feed, it's all just, you know,
Clean.
it's all cool shit. I don't know.
So when I first started using the internet, I was a big fan of this album called Fun by Daniel Johnston. You know him?
Oh, yeah.
I remember you told me you saw that movie, right?
Yeah.
The Devil and Daniel Johnston. Well, his 1994 album, Fun, like when I heard that, I thought it was just the best thing I had ever heard, right?
Yeah.
And I couldn't find, like, anything about him in magazines. You go to the record store, it was just a friend let me borrow the album to see. You might like this, and it blew my mind.
Sure.
And maybe from the liner notes of the album, or like the one article I found out that actually he had like a whole, 15 years worth of underground stuff that you couldn't find anywhere. And I was like, oh my god, I want to hear this so bad, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like you go to the record store and ask if you can order it, and they're kind of like, who are you talking about? Like, what, like they're not helpful at all. So you're just like, great, you know all this, this music you totally want to hear exists, and you can't. And I actually didn't even know what he looked like. Like, it was like my hero. I didn't even know what he looked like, right? And my friend told me he looked like Oliver Platt. You know who that is? He was you know who he is? He was in he was in that movie with he was an actor. He's not a studly guy. He was in I remember him in Flatliners with Kiefer Sutherland and Julia Roberts, I think. But anyways, he just but whatever. My friend's like, he looks like Oliver Platt, and I'm like, great. So that's the only concept I had of the guy. And when I finally had access to the internet, what is that, Oliver Platt?
Okay.
Yeah. But it's true. He actually, Daniel Johnston does look like him.
He does look like
But
him.
at least I had some visual image of what he looked like. But just the fact that I couldn't find his music anywhere, I didn't know what he looked like, And then when I finally, had access to the internet, because I didn't want a computer. I'm like, I thought it wasn't fun,
Yeah.
And but just at a job I had in 1994, 95, and I had a computer in my office, and I just started using the internet, and I found the Daniel Johnston homepage, and I saw that I could order 12 of his cassettes, from 1980 to 1994.
The jackpot.
Yeah, and they were $4 each, and I'd sent away for all 12 of them, right?
Nice.
And they came in the mail, and yes! And they were just as awesome as I imagined, So it's like in my case, right off the bat, it totally. As soon as I started using the internet, it just had a huge,
awesome.
impact on what I was able to listen to. So
It's awesome.
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Do you want a revolution? So this is.
What about the significant relationships?
Oh, because I thought we already covered that kind of, right?
Did we? Yeah, I guess so.
Kinda, yeah.
Because this is when I was talking about that Mike Watt interview, and he was talking about how they were just so dissatisfied with what's on the radio, whatever, and this, it just forces them to almost an urgency, desperation, create their own universe, right? Do you want that,
revolution?
or because you've had, like you were saying, create your own bubble or whatever you want to call it, you don't feel you need a revolution?
I
This
don't
is kind
think
of the
so.
heart of it.
I don't think I need one. I understand that, if you want to overthrow the corporate assholes and the constructed pop star image and stuff, cool. That's fine. But there are some things I enjoy in mainstream culture, which I know, I love Lady Gaga. I just love her. I love everything she does. I love everything she wears. I think she's awesome. And, her new album is called Art Pop, and everybody's all
It was
pissed off about
revolutionary
it.
in a way, I think, although it's mainstream, but with the outfits and stuff, and to bring more fashion point into
Well, I think it's great, but nobody likes it. I mean, a lot of people like it, but I think the people who consider themselves higher than mainstream culture, they hate her because they're like, oh, she's just a cheap ripoff of Madonna, and it's like, okay, she was influenced by Madonna. Okay, get over it.
Sure, yeah.
Stephen King was influenced by H.P. Lovecraft. Get over it. It's very similar. Get over it. I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
You're always influenced, so.
Yeah, and personally, I like Lady Gaga better, but whatever. It's just me. So I think, I don't know, I don't care. I don't care. I don't need anybody. I don't need my image of art to be forced on other people, because I don't want other people. It's like religion. I don't want anybody else's forced on me. They don't want my image of art forced on them. I'm not gonna sit down and just say the only TV show that's ever gonna be allowed to be shown on TV again is the greatest TV show of all time, The Twilight Zone. That's it, the original, of course. And no, that's not necessarily gonna conform. That and Twilight Zone and Twin Peaks. That's all we're gonna watch ever again. That's all that's gonna be allowed. In that way, I think it's sort of how are you any better than the corporations who are constructing these people and forcing them on you, just make your shit, live in your world. That's me, though. I'm kind of a barrier head in the sand
free,
person.
also with the nerd stuff and things, so yeah, we have the internet, we can connect with people.
Yeah.
We want to have contact too. We're not forced to be in a classroom with stupid other individuals anymore. We can decide who we're surrounded with, and so and in Japan, the people usually don't give a shit. So people like who are performing at Paint Your Teeth,
Yeah.
what they do like in their free time, but they have maybe their salary man company life, but nobody cares what they're doing if they're like smashing the watermelons on the weekends, so and stuff like. And in Germany, like if you wear a Lolita dress like we did today, like everyone like they would be pointing at you. They would say like, "Oh, you look so blah, whatever."
It's not
So
fucking
even
Halloween,
in like
man.
Berlin, like even I mean
anywhere.
I consider Berlin.
Yeah.
I mean I haven't been there, but I mean
No,
isn't it
the Berlin
pretty
people
arty-farty
no,
city?
it is in a way, but still people like they are like just not very open in a way, like
It's something that's kind of so different it kind of offends them.
like
Right? You know,
They
because people
feel-
would always tell me back home, like, it's not fucking Halloween, man. And
Yeah,
I'd just be
like,
like, well, you're
something-
fucking
Oh,
boring,
yeah.
you know, like that kind
That's
of
a
thing.
you know what
or
I
Ryoja with the long hair. Oh look, there are two girls, or
Yeah.
yeah, like well don't.
That's what Andre Breton, the guy who wrote the Surrealist Manifesto, he would call it the fear of the magnificent. Is what, is what.
I like that
Yeah,
term.
because you see that, you know, with people who. I actually kind of felt that a little bit from the guys at Cutters. The expressions on their faces, like,
Probably.
Yeah.
you know, that's why I
Yeah.
very strongly felt like, fuck these guys, because it's. But that's like, what do you, like, So I would probably answer this question like, do you want a revolution? Like, I would say yes, but what I would want is there to be like so many people who are already inclined to like something, you know, like let's say paint your teeth. Like, not converting anybody, but just connecting so many fucking people that suddenly were more powerful. You know what I mean? Like, rather than converting like people who are just not cool. But,
Sure.
Yeah.
So in that way, that people are just more open-minded or whatever. Or they just don't even give a shit. Or like just leave the other people alone doing the stuff they want. And so, it's just... Well, you think they have boring lives, they haven't seen something like this before, and it's easy just to make fun of the stuff or without knowing what it's about, or...
Not necessarily, not even make fun, just... Some people it's just impossible to connect with. Like, you could, I mean, it's just that...
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just wired into their personality that they're...
My whole step family are those people.
Yeah.
They're lovely.
Yeah.
But there's just no way. There's no fucking reaching them, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how my dad
It's
can stay
like,
married.
my
Really?
friends...
She's lovely, but I just don't. I couldn't be married to somebody who just so deeply cannot understand such an important,
like...
you know, part of my life. Like, see how she doesn't get the avant-garde stuff or whatever, but I mean, he gets Lord of the Rings, he gets all the escapism. Like, even if he doesn't necessarily take part as much, like, I mean, he still gets it and he still respects it. But I mean, my family are the people to run that shit down, you know?
Respect.
Yeah,
So-
they don't, But, you
A lot
know,
of
I mean, my
people
stepmother's
just
in
lack
the military.
Respect,
No.
I think. So.
Fucking fighter
But
pilot.
it's like the
I know the
girl
type.
who came to Paint Your Teeth and Cutters, the German girl.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Nelly?
friend,
Nelly?
Um,
Like, they were awesome. They made my
the
night.
other
'cause they
one
were-
who's here for an au pair.
the other German girl.
Like, her family, like, the father is German and is here for just only a few years, and his now, like, girlfriend, whatever, is Japanese, but he's always saying, like, when they go to Donkey or whatever, and they have the costumes there, or they see a leader, oh, look at that, that's so disgusting, that's so sick, and...
Yeah.
Like,
why does it offend... Yeah.
Like, why does he even care? I mean...
Yeah. Lolita does offend people because they
she
think it's
doesn't want to
all like
say
pedophile
like
stuff.
yeah, but she's
they
like
do.
she hesitates to say, but okay, I think I find it pretty cool, or I think it's cute or whatever. So she's like, okay, I'm better quiet, and so and he's been here now for I don't know how long, but yeah.
just how some people are.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, but
Can't reach them.
All right. How about in these like last 3 questions? Is there anything less access ever good? Like I mean, like
No.
the example I talked. Remember that example I talked about, or you even said like just if you have an idea and you don't want to see how everyone else is exploring that idea, you just.
Okay, in that way, it's a balance. You know, you have to balance. In that way, that's good. You know, don't look at that stuff. Don't look at the negative stuff. Don't pay attention to that. But then when you get to when you get forced less access of information, you know, like the Chinese
that's the
government
difference. So
control,
you're choosing.
you know, like that's different. So, yeah, you have to be free with that. The internet has to be completely unregulated. And if there's a point when it becomes, you know, regulated by, you know, the American government or corporations or whatever, like, I mean, that's when the real fucking revolution has to happen. I mean, that's it's us. It's for that's the people. The internet is for the people. More, you know.
Yeah, and they were moving in on it last year
absolutely.
with SOPA and stuff
and
like
it
that.
truly, deeply frightened and offended me that they're trying to do that kind of thing. And you know, they're going to keep coming back and they're going to keep trying to regulate it because they do want to control people. I mean, one of the reasons I left back home, as I said on my status the other day, was that it was looking like 1984 too much to me, you know? I mean, like thought crimes and, you know, people getting arrested for making jokes on the internet and things like that. And, like, I think that, no, that stuff has to remain completely free. And you know, in 1984, you know, the whole war that was going on, Oceania is at war with East Asia, we've always been at war with East Asia, and the whole thing. But the whole war, you know, was not real. It was just something that they had constructed to control the people. That's why,
and fear is control, and
so that's why, like, we need access to as much information as possible. And no one group gets to control anything. So no one group gets to be, you know, like America doesn't ever get to be a Christian country, no matter how much they want it. It's in the Constitution that it's secular. Get over it, you know. Like I mean, and I'm a Christian, but I think that, you know, like my religion doesn't have, you know, any effect. Like, you know, my husband's an atheist and I don't care. That's fine. I wouldn't ever fucking force my religion on anybody else.
Man, it's funny how often that comes up. How often people want to do that. Yeah.
Really, and they really do. And then the government wants to make laws based on, you know, their book. And it's like, well, but maybe not everybody likes your book, you know? And, like, get over yourself, guys. You can't make laws based on this. It's like fear-mongering, and it's scary. I don't know, Big Brother shit, dude. The NSA and all of that. I know now I sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist, but maybe I am, so I don't care. I think it's real. All of it.
Well, I mean, a lot of it is real. All the NSA
state,
stuff. Yeah.
Man, all the cops killing people all the time. Fucking hell. Scary.
All right, Veronika, anything to say about like the last 3? I don't know.
Are you angry? You angry?
Sometimes I'm really angry. Oh yeah.
Because so you know how that relates, right? Did I have another piece of paper? I had a rough draft in my report. Oh yeah, so just the guy's theory that he said if he thought that anger that fueled past countercultural youth movements, well, we've been talking about this, stems from a lack of access to the kinds of information in art, blah 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 blah. So that's why I'm asking, like, are you angry or have you been pacified by all the lovely art that you've been given? See, that's
both. Like, angry more about, like, what's going on in the world and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not angry about art, man. I've got loads of art, you know, like, to look at, to make, like, I'm not angry at all. If I got angry because of a lack of art, then I'd make some, you know?
okay.
That's what everybody should do.
No, but that's what we're talking about, right?
I'd make something, I'd make what I want to see. That's why, you know, for paint your teeth, that's why we do Donut Lolita. That's something I want to see. I wanted to see that commentary. I made my little babies that we vomited up, you know? Is that our time?
I hope not.
Is that your phone?
We have still 10 minutes
Okay.
or something? There
I
was
don't know.
something like nokori.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. 10 minutes. That's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
So,
yes,
yeah,
I think we make the art that we
basically
want
the
to
artist,
see.
Yeah.
what we want to do. So it's a fucking pain in the ass to deal with customers, for example.
Yeah.
So for like design or illustration or whatever, like you have to do what they want and they want to shit. But well,
Yeah.
that makes me angry. So for like illustration wise, I'm not that sad that I don't have so many illustration jobs. Like if I want to do illustration, I want to do what.
Hi. Hi. Okay. Jikan wa 10分後ですか? Okay. Hi. Hi. 大丈夫です. Hi. Okay. Well, because I'm going to tie everything into paint your teeth.
Yeah.
Can you like just? I mean, I guess each of you talk for just a couple minutes. What is paint your teeth?
Okay. So I think Paint Your Teeth is just a collection of artists who are making art that they wanted to see, you know, or, you know, that for me, like, I'm influenced by a lot of different things, and I want to put all that together. So I'm influenced by cute stuff, and I'm influenced by H.P. Lovecraft, and I'm influenced by Silent Hill, and all of these things, and I want to put all of them together, you know, along with Rilakuma and like Lolita and like cuteness and put everything together and then just see what the fuck comes out, you know. And I mean, sometimes we don't even plan what we're gonna do, you know. It's like, okay, here's the basic bare bones concept of our performance that we go on stage, and we're just like, we have no
Like
plan.
the octopus.
We haven't written.
I thought it was awesome.
Right. I mean, we just hadn't no plan.
Yeah.
You know, no script, no nothing.
Yeah,
It
I
was
think
like,
it's
let's just see what comes out.
basically
you know?
what we said like in the documentary. Like it's
Yeah.
from weirdos by weirdos for other weirdos and just to
And the weirdos
enjoy
are
our
coming, right? The
arts
weirdos
and,
are showing up. Like
Yeah.
it is. Like it's. I feel like it is
Absolutely. And I think
actually going how I wanted to.
That's
people who
just-
didn't have experience with like kind of the weird stuff before are like seeing this stuff and they're like, whoa, like at the very least, even if they don't enjoy it, they can say, whoa, I've never seen that before. You know, something like that, and give you a new idea. If it can make you think, even if it's nonsense, you know, even if it's kind of Dadaist, like